Welcome to the Cal Corporation's series of videos about software engineering. The topic of this video is the precise measurement of time. Before proceeding, make sure that you have already watched these other videos first. A clock consists of a starting point in time, called its epoch, and a tick rate. In C++, one kind of clock is called the system clock. This is the same clock that's used by the operating system. Thus, you should not use this clock for measuring an interval, because another process could come along and adjust that clock. Another clock is called the steady clock. This is a better choice for measuring an interval because it cannot be adjusted by other processes. The clock with the fastest tick rate is called the high-resolution clock. A time point is a software object whose value is with respect to one of those clocks. The time point can be converted into a time structure, which our previous video showed can then be converted into a string. A duration is a software object that represents the difference between two time points. This count function casts from a duration object into a float value. By default, this duration object uses units of seconds for measuring its duration. However, you could request that it use units of milliseconds instead. Instead of milliseconds, you also could have requested nanoseconds or microseconds. Or you could have even used the ratio template to request some other units like minutes or hours or days even. If you want your duration object's internal data type to be long double instead of float, then there's a variety of shortcuts that you could use for any of these time span units. If you want to manually double a time span, you could use the count function to cast it into a float and then use a multiplication operator to multiply that float times 2. Or you could simply apply the multiplication operator to the duration object itself. Only multiplication and division have been defined to do this.